Okay, we'll talk about the Ukraine war. Okay, going to provide a potential solution to this mess that we have over there. This proxy war that is growing into a war between superpowers, right? So, how could we end this war? Well, obviously, I'm not going to say that Putin did nothing wrong. I'm not going to say that invading a sovereign nation is okay. Okay, I'm not excusing Russia's behaviors, or rather Putin's. But I'm also not going to excuse the imperialistic behaviors of the United States. Okay, I mean, what imperialistic behaviors am I talking about? Well, we have 800 military bases around the world. Okay, our military bases are surrounding Ukraine. They're surrounding China, and where are these countries' military bases? They're just guarding the borders of their own nation, right? So if we look at NATO is just increasingly encroaching on these other nations, right? Japan is in NATO, and we're meddling in Ukraine's elections to try to put some puppet in there to eventually get Ukraine in NATO. So then we set up those military bases in Ukraine. So to pretend that the U.S. has played no role in this Ukraine war, to pretend that we did not provoke it at all, you're just living in a different reality if you believe that. I'm sorry. You have to zoom out and look at the full picture. And the truth is, if you go back even farther, Russia, they provoked us with the Cuban Missile Crisis, okay? Or Soviet Union, rather. It's not, you can't look at the most recent 10 years to understand what's going on. You have to look at the wider picture. But again, solutions. How can we stop this? Well, it's simple. We just reverse the problems that caused it. This is how you solve problems. You don't treat problems with proxy wars. You reverse those problems that led up to it. That's the only way that is satisfactory. So what do? We deconstruct these military bases. We get rid of them. Okay, it's really simple. We bring them home, or better, another option you could do is turn these military bases into humanitarian aid stations or whatever. Okay, send them to Africa where the help's needed. But what else? We break up NATO. Okay, really simple. Okay, what else? No more economic sanctions. Okay, free trade globally. Okay, the economy is globalizing, and if we continue to pretend that one nation or the other is going to take control of this globalizing economy, it's not going to work. Okay, it's never worked before. It will never work. Okay, so what else? Again, we guarantee free trade between the BRICS nations. Okay, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and G7. Okay, it's really simple. There, I solved every problem in the world. All you have to do is allow everyone an equal footing. Okay, the problem here is that if we allow this military aspect, this imperialistic military regime in the picture, it corrupts the entire process. Okay, the military is what creates the division. It's what creates the fear and the stress, and it's eventually what leads to authoritarianism within the countries that are pushing these imperialistic regimes, and it leads to the wars, the proxy wars that will inevitably explode into wars, like bigger wars, right, between these superpowers. So if we remove the military aspect from the picture, okay, and put everyone on an even playing ground, then all these various economics and social structures throughout the world will finally be able to compete with each other on even grounds. Okay, and that's what we need. We need basically a giant case study to find out what works best, and we have that case study set up. Okay, there's a lot of different economic and social structures around the world. If you remove the military aspect and you allow free trade between all those nations, that case study begins the moment you do that. And what will happen is, again, first of all that division, that fear, and that stress, the authoritarianism, it won't diminish, okay? And all of these different social and economic structures that are, you know, they vary throughout the world, they will approach an equilibrium, an ideal equilibrium, because that's how economies work when they're not being puppeteered by a military industrial complex. Okay, all we have to do is stop trying to control people, right? Control is what leads to these vicious cycles of division, okay? And I mean division even within a nation, like the United States, for example. Like the you know, civil wars are the end result of this division if we don't stop it. So we need to quit pretending that the US dollar is going to be the reserve currency, or the yuan, or any currency in particular, okay? We need to just accept that the best option here is for the entire world to simply start trading freely with each other, okay? Stop all of the military interactions with each other, and what will happen is you give it about a couple years, maybe a decade, and we will all decide that a globalized currency is the way forward. And when that happens, you will be well on your way to a utopia. Okay, the idea that one nation can, you know, provoke a war, and another nation can invade a sovereign nation, and then the idea that this cycle of war isn't going to escalate is foolish. No one's going to come out on top, especially now that we have nuclear weapons on all sides of this. All right, the United States, you know, they want to take control of Taiwan because of what? Because of the microchips, right? And the microchips are very important for our economic structure. Instead of just you know, sharing the technology and sharing the skills that can make these microchips, and everyone and allowing every nation in the world to be able to, you know, manufacture these microchips domestically, we're gonna threaten some world war over Taiwan. It's just foolish, okay? And here's the thing: the U.S. is behind on this mindset, okay? We are stuck in this nationalistic, individualistic mindset that is destroying us from the inside out. And a country like China, who we blame for often stealing all of our technology, they're not stealing technology. Maybe you could consider it stealing, but the fact is that the only reason you consider it stealing is because you're trying to profit from that technology. But yet, the laborers, the middle class and lower class who actually create the value production, never get the benefits of that technology, okay? So we're just complaining. If you're in the middle and lower class and you're complaining that China's stealing our technology, stealing our secrets, and again, you're in the middle and lower class, you're just defending the rich billionaires who want to profit off of these technologies. If we share this technology, everyone has the technology, and then as the world globalizes, the economy globalizes, what happens is everyone can produce everything domestically, because that is the most economically efficient way to do things. We'd rather not ship things everywhere. But if we share the secrets, or we share the technology, you know, just completely freely, then again, the efficiency of an open economy, of a free market, will encourage us to produce these products domestically, assuming that natural resources are not a limitation there. So give that some thought, okay? We cannot continue down this road of increasing violence, okay, of increasing imperialism. Someone's got to give, and it's gonna have to be the nation who is increasingly imperialistic. It's gonna have to be the US. It's gonna have to be US citizens, because they're the ones who vote, okay? The class war needs to end in the United States first and foremost. It's the center of everything, because again, we're the ones trying to control everybody. That control breeds the fear, it breeds the division, breeds all of it. It's really simple, guys. We just have to work together. And you know, I have this dream, sort of, or this vision, that one day we won't even need to speak the same language. We invent, and AI rather will allow us to just speak into a microphone, and somebody else can instantly hear it translated into another language perfectly. It would be beautiful, and it would, I don't know, whatever. Just give that a little thought. Thanks for watching.